Right. I call the Honourable Meka Whaitiri.
Madam Speaker, e te manga o te whare tēnā koe, ngā member o te whare nei tēnā tātou katoa. Madam Speaker, today is a special day for myself and for my whānau, and I beg the indulgence of the House to wish my mother a happy 80th birthday today. Happy birthday, Mum. Madam Speaker, I am pleased to speak on the third reading of the Food Safety Law Reform Bill. And it's saddened to follow the previous speaker, who in his contribution sounded, Madam Speaker, like could've, would've, should've, but didn't do it. That side of the House, Madam Speaker, had opportunities to pass legislation in this House to help not just our primary sector, but of course our food and safety producers throughout the country. And I want to say I'm really proud of the work that the Honourable Damien O'Connor has done, Madam Speaker. Not only did he usher through the dairy legislation that helped our southern dairy farmers, but he also, Madam Speaker, did go to Cabinet and got $93 million, not hoped to get it, not planned to get it, but actually got it before Christmas last year to deal with the biosecurity system that was badly let down by the other side. And of course, now we have the Food Safety and Law Reform Bill, Madam Speaker, that we are passing today. May I just say that this bill amends the three main food safety acts, Madam Speaker: Food Act, the Animal Products Act, the Wine Act, to address the gaps identified by the WPC inquiry and to make other improvements to the food safety regulatory system. And to remind us all, Madam Speaker, the bill rose from the botulism false alarm in 2013, which resulted in the independent government inquiry and its 38 recommendations. Madam Speaker, it's important to identify that the objectives of this bill is to protect health, human health. It is aiming to maintain New Zealand's reputation as a supplier of safe and suitable food, both domestically and internationally. It does attempt to ensure all steps have been taken to address the recommendations of the WPC inquiry, and it also attempts, Madam Speaker, to harmonise the implementation of the WPC inquiry recommendations across the three food safety acts. Madam Speaker, I would want to touch on the parts of the bill that I identified are important for members of this House around what it is actually trying to do. And I want to highlight not only what the bill is doing, but actually how the bill enables particularly our officials at MPI to implement them. The first part, Madam Speaker, I just want to comment on is the improving responses to food safety incidents. This bill will improve the ability for MPI to identify incidents quickly and respond appropriately. And how would they do that, Madam Speaker? They will do it by permitting the Director General of MPI to compel parties that provide services to a food business to provide information. It will also, Madam Speaker, allow the Director General statements to be made to inform the public. It will also clarify that MPI has a statutory role in contingency planning. And then, Madam Speaker, we go into what the bill's attempting to do around traceability and recall. And it's important to note that this bill improves the regulatory system for tracing and recalling foods. And how does this bill do it? It makes the obligation to have traceability systems more explicit in the Acts. It enables regulations for setting prescriptive requirements, example of mock recalls. Then, Madam Speaker, the bill I want to highlight talks about the verification. And in this part, it's about improving to fill gaps identified by the WPC inquiry. And how is it intending to do that, Madam Speaker? It states first that the duty of the recognised agency or person, the verifier, is to the relevant regulator. It then requires the agency seeking or maintaining their formal recognition to provide all accreditation reports to MPI. And then it further allows regulations to, where necessary, set requirements for the independent verification of obligations. And then, Madam Speaker, I want to touch on the electronic system enhancements. And the bill attempts to improve efficiencies and interactions with operators and overseas trading partners, and it helps to promote modern business practice. It does this, Madam Speaker, by permits use of automatic electronic systems under the Animal Products Act and the Wine Act as in the Food Act, and it permits the Director-General to require information electronically. Madam Speaker, these are just a few examples of how this bill is going to modernise and protect our food-producing sector in this country. And I'm proud that the Minister of Agriculture, the Honourable Damien Connor, has acted as swiftly as he has to bring this bill to the House that we are debating for its third and final reading. Madam Speaker, in the time I've got left, I do want to acknowledge the work of the Primary Production Select Committee. And I particularly want to acknowledge the 43 submitters who submitted when the bill was first referred back to the Select Committee on the 16th of August, but who submitted on the 22nd of September. And I also want to acknowledge the 11 submitters that appeared before the Select Committee in the late 2016. Which then begs the question, Madam Speaker, if we had the Select Committee hearings in late 2016, we are here now in 2018, and there was every opportunity for the so-called side of this House that purports to be the representative of farmers and growers to have ushered this bill through the House. So it's a bit rich when that side attacks this side for doing something that is actually right and correct and should have been done, but wasn't done. And so, Madam Speaker, like the previous speaker, I'm pleased that this side takes our food producers, our farmers and our growers seriously, Madam Speaker, and we take them seriously because this bill did need the attention that this House so-called is giving it, because it is important for all our growers throughout New Zealand to preserve our international reputation when we're trading on the international markets, Madam Speaker, that we have a sound and robust food safety system to give us that competitive edge internationally. So, Madam Speaker, without further ado, I'm proud to stand in support of this food safety law reform bill and commend it to the House.
Honourable Nathan Guy.
Thanks very much.